I am at Mental Health Association with Rebecca, and I'm so excited about this because this role for me has given me an opportunity to really learn about a lot of our nonprofits, what you guys do on a deeper level rather than kind of like, hey, I know you guys handle a lot of things. And the other thing I've come to learn is that a lot of our nonprofits work together.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited to find out all about the Mental Health Association.
Great. Well, we are a local nonprofit. We will be celebrating our 60th anniversary in 2025.
Holy cow.
And we operate 14 different programs and resources for the community.
Oh, this is exactly why I need to be here. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Our mission statement is building a foundation of good mental wellness, and we do that by preparing resilient children, securing vulnerable families, and facing crises together.
Holy cow, that's a big job.
It is a big job. It is a big job, and especially since COVID, it's gotten even bigger.
Oh, I can tell you from personal experience, yes, that really had an impact on my kids. So, so how much of what you do is preventative, and how much of where you spend your time is reactive to things that are happening immediately?
Sure. Well, those programs that help build resiliency in children, we are not born with resiliency, and what we learn is sometimes people need additional help. And so some of those programs, like our Healthy Families Frederick program, was designed to prevent child abuse, where we're supporting new families in understanding developmental milestones, discipline techniques, making sure they're getting connected to pediatricians and additional resources.
Okay.
We also operate CASA, which is court-appointed special advocates that support those kids in foster care, helping those kids find that forever home, but also being a voice for them and providing them with support. So some of that is prevention, in that by stabilizing those young folks, hopefully it will prevent some of the mental health concerns that they might have as an adult.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Okay, so lots of different programs that you do in here, and actually even in my short walk from the front of reception to here, I learned all about some of the different programs that you guys have an impact on here in Frederick. Can you put your finger on kind of what would be most urgent, or is kind of everything on fire all the time and it's just kind of like you're dealing with things as they go for Mental Health Association?
You know, I think mental wellness is something we deal with every day.
Sure.
We take care of our physical needs. We walk, we exercise, we eat healthy, we sleep. But mental wellness is something we need to be taking care of. And sometimes we don't have those strategies in place to do that, and that's where MHA steps in. So we see times of transition as very difficult, especially for our young people. Entering school, a change in a season, an experienced struggle or loss. And that's when they might need additional resources like our 24-hour walk-in center. Which is located over at 340 Montevue Lane. And that's available to anyone in need of immediate services, free of charge, no appointment necessary.
Holy cow.
We see clients as young as 3 all the way up into their 90s.
Yeah. How do you feel we've done as a culture with the stigma of, you know, the mental health industry as a whole? Do you feel we've gotten any better, or do you feel like we still have so far to go? Because you feel at times, okay, like we're all accepting there's been, you know, huge news stories about people, and, you know, while the tragedies of some of those instances, you would think that raising it to that level to understand that, hey, this affects everybody across, it doesn't matter, rich, poor, black, white, whatever you are. It doesn't discriminate. And you would think that we would have come further, but how do you feel about it in this industry?
I think we're making strides. I think certainly COVID really shined a light on our need to all take care of ourselves and our mental wellness. I certainly think those stories in the news of professional athletes, Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, entertainers, those folks reaching out and saying, yes, my mental health is important, I'm going to take care of it, I'm going to seek therapy or additional support. And I think our youth have a lot to say. When we're out in the community and we're at Hood College or perhaps an FCPS school, where students are coming up and saying, I have a therapist, I take care of myself, I love to journal, or I like to do art to help me feel better. Some of the older generations are a little less open to the idea of seeking resources. So I think we're getting better.
Okay.
There's still a lot of work to
Sure.
do, and that's where MHA comes in. We need to build advocates in the community.
Yeah.
And so when we can get out in front of different groups, we can say, we need your help. Know about our resources, so when that time comes and you need support, or you know somebody who does, you know where to turn to.
Yeah. So tell me about some of these, because we were talking earlier, like it's kind of one of those things that you don't know you need it until you need it, and then you need to know where to go. So number one, people should just come here.
Yes.
Email, phone, website, just to get understanding of support and help, whether you're a parent who has a child or you yourself are going through those issues. But kind of high level, what are the types of things people would utilize the Mental Health Association
I think
for
the
here?
most important things are our crisis services.
Yeah.
Our 24-hour walk-in center, again, which is located now at Montevue Lane, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Crisis specialists are available to support with everything from I'm feeling anxious, overwhelmed. We know that the school has started back up, and kids might be feeling overwhelmed with the additional workload, the change in the schedule. Mom and dad might be feeling a little overwhelmed. It's a place to go and talk and get support and be heard. And it can be as difficult as a difficult relationship and needing support to navigate that, to having thoughts of suicide.
Right.
And I need a safety plan in place.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you're safe and that you get connected to resources.
Now, do you also have a phone line that people can call as well,
We
right?
do. We operate the 24-hour call center.
Okay.
And the most important lines that we answer several. 211 Maryland, which is a connection to resources.
Yep.
988, which is the lifeline, the crisis suicide lifeline, as well as the Frederick County hotline, which is 301-662-22855.
Okay, so I had no idea about 988,
Yes.
number one. I had no idea that existed.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
that's...
that's the old 800 National Suicide Lifeline.
Gotcha.
A year ago, July, it switched over to 988.
Okay.
A year ago? Has it been 2 years?
Yeah.
Recently
Recently
switched over to a 3-digit dial-up to make it easier
Sure.
for people
you
to
want
reach
people,
out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you think about 911 in an
Yes.
emergency, now 988 if you're having an immediate...
And I think what's important for the community to understand is we don't want you to wait until you're having thoughts of suicide to call that number. We want, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm not sure where to go. Dial that number and you'll receive a warm, empathetic listening ear on the other side.
So important.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because when you're a parent and you have a teenager under 18, it's sometimes very difficult to find counselors, mental health help. Do you guys, I mean, so if they go to Montevue Lane, are there resources in place for future therapies? Do you guys recommend people? Do you have kind of regular therapists there? How does that work?
Yeah. So what we have found, there's a lot of private practices in our community that support counseling and therapy. But since COVID especially, there's great wait lists. So if your child is in need of some support and you reach out and it's 6 months, you might need something more immediately. So we encourage folks to come to walk-in.
Okay.
MHA also has an outpatient clinic where we provide counseling and therapy here at our Jefferson Street location.
Okay.
So folks can reach out to us as well. But we always encourage walk-in as a first, because when you go to walk-in, you'll be given a list of resources to follow up with and get connected to. The other nice thing about walk-in is there's a follow-up. So one of our navigators will reach out to you a period of time after your visit. How are you
Checking
doing?
in. Yeah,
Do you need to
that's
come
great.
back in? Have you been able to get connected to those resources, or how can we help you?
I mean, this is so important. This is so important for our community, because it's just we have to all be supportive and figure out how to help people who are struggling at whatever level.
It makes Frederick a bit better community when we're taking care of each other.
Absolutely.
And we also, not only with schools back in place, we have an upcoming election. And that's going to cause a lot of angst and unrest amongst all of us, regardless of where you are politically. So we might need to help people process that and figure out
Oh,
how
well,
to
there's
get
so
through
many
it.
things. I
Yeah.
mean, the economy, I know people are struggling. I mean, it's just everything.
Yes.
How can Frederick support what you guys are doing here? What can we do as a community to...
Well, I think number one, be our advocate. Come learn about MHA. We offer tours. We have a website full of information. Reach out, see how you can get involved. We have several volunteer opportunities. We also have our big fundraising event, the Contactin Affair, which is held every spring at the Frederick Fairgrounds. That's a great way to come and be an advocate and support us financially.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could give people just kind of, 3 things to be on the lookout for, whether with a family member or friend, things that might go, maybe I should just reach out and see what we can do to help. Is there anything that you can kind of offer?
I think when there's a change in behavior,
Yeah.
Somebody's becoming a little bit more recluse, maybe not joining in where they used to, becoming a little bit more isolated. We see a lot in our senior population because they're unable to get out and connect with people.
Yeah.
We forget about our seniors. We're so focused on the youth, but the
Yeah.
seniors are people that need some checking in on
Absolutely.
as their life is changing.
Yeah.
I think any change in eating habits, sleeping habits, a little short fused or returning to substances to help medicate themselves,
Yeah.
any of that might be a red flag. We encourage loved ones to reach out to walk-in or to our call center to say, I have somebody struggling and I'm not sure what to
do
say.
or do.
We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
help give you the language to help
Nice.
navigate that.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about some of our other nonprofits in the community. So you guys, I think, I think Frederick is amazing.
Yes.
Utilizing all the resources from all the different nonprofits. So I'm assuming you guys do the same, referring to different organizations or getting referrals from other organizations as well.
Absolutely, and one of the things the call center does is we have a huge database of immediate resources that we can share with the
Nice.
community. So if somebody calls in and is dealing with homelessness or being unhoused or food insecurities, we can go right to our database and say, the food bank is available on this day, the rescue mission provides
Right.
meals this day. SHIP is a great resource. We just had some of the SHIP folks in here touring,
Yeah.
learning more about our resources so
Yes.
that they can support those youths that they work with.
All right, awesome. What is the website so people can go and check it out?
It is fcmha.org.
Okay, excellent. Want to thank Rebecca, and we're going to come back because I think this is so important for our community, and I know if it's not affecting you today, you may forget about it. So we're not going to let you forget.
Yeah.
We're going to hopefully revisit very soon Mental Health Association, Jefferson Street, but the most important one is Montevue Lane. If you need help, please go. And they're there for you. So we thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
everything you
Dani.
do. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so much for watching.